Hi guys, welcome back to vSoldier.com. You're listening as always to vSoldier, and we're back looking at Euro Truck Simulator 2. Now it's an exciting time because it's time to buy my first truck, and that's why we're playing the game, right? It's to start to build a business, and I've been working for a while now in between videos, and I've attained the level of a skilled worker on level 10. My distance driven in game is 8,264 kilometers. Let's check out further into my profile. So yeah, I've been doing a bit when I can find the time, and here we are. My overall skill rating now is 3.3. So if I were a driver on the market and I was looking for a driver, I would employ me. Always a good recommendation. But anyway, so let's check out finance. So I took out a loan a few days ago, 4 virtual days ago, of £80,000, and the reason for that was I thought I was ready to buy my truck, but when I went shopping at the truck dealers, it turned out because I was only like level 5, level 6, level 7, I didn't have the choices available to me, the specification choices that I wanted. So I decided, even though I'd taken the loan out, I decided, well, I'll crack on, I'll keep paying the loan, of which I've paid 10,000 back, and I'll work on a little bit more, earn some money. I'm now up to 187,571 in the bank. So all things being equal, I think allowing myself a spend of perhaps £100,000 at level 10, that gives me something to go shopping with. So the trucks on offer for a level 10 player will be of, you know, a half decent specification. So this is the moment I've been waiting for, and I'm ready now. So but before I go on and buy my new truck, I wanted to discuss strategies. That's what we're here for, right? We're building a business, and as such we have to put strategies in place which are going to be most profitable for our transport organisation. So when it comes time to purchase a truck, I haven't opened a great deal of dealerships, but we've got a few to be going on with. So I've got Volvo in Luxembourg, I have Renault in Paris, down here we've got Majestic Benz down there in Geneva, Switzerland. In Milan we've got a Scania dealer which we've discovered, and it goes on. There's DAF in Salzburg, there's Majestic in Bratislava, there's Renault in, what's that, Prague, DAF in Leipzig in Germany, right up there in Poland, Szczecin, is that how you say that? Szczecin. We have a Majestic dealer, and so on and so forth. So I've been spending a bit of time looking around these dealers and seeing what I can buy for my money. So we've got £100,000 budget. So let's take a look around some dealerships and see what we can buy. So let's go to Majestic at Geneva first. Visit the selected dealer, yes please. As if by magic. You can imagine how heartbroken I was when I initially found out if you hadn't visited the dealer prior, you got charged if you wanted to visit it in game. So it was like every time I went to look at trucks, it was like paying for another holiday. So I think it deducts about 2,000 or 3,000 out of your bank. But if you've actually been to the dealership before, each time you travel back, weather sounds ominous, each time you travel back you don't get charged for it anymore. So here we are in the Majestic garage, and this is their base offering, which, to be honest, around South Wales we used to have these little brewery delivery lorries, and this looks like one of them. I mean, it's only a 320, 320 horsepower, would not pull a Boy Scout off his sister, honestly. I mean, that's just ridiculous. 78,000, so let's see what sort of upgrades we've got available on this Majestic. Cabin, well, at least we can go for a high roof sleeper, but that's an expensive upgrade. That takes it up over £100,000 for a 320, essentially a 320 Globetrotter, and frankly that's just not good enough. Let's look at engine upgrades. 408, 435, okay, so we can go up to 435 horsepower for almost £10,000. So on the base value of the truck itself, 78,928, add on to that, round it up to 10 grand for the sake of maths. So we're on 88,000 pounds for what is a very, very basic underpowered piece of kit. And this was the problem I had with looking at the Majestic trucks. I mean, there was just going through, bear in mind I'm on a level 10 now, so still I can't buy them all. I can't have that one, look, that's only available from level 16. Let's have a look at the next one in your own sweet time. Okay, that's a pretty thing, but again, not available to me until level 14, and then for £150,000. Now, the reason it's that expensive is because of this axle configuration here. This is a twin drive bogie. Okay, and the reason you would fit a twin drive on is if you were planning on undertaking any special types work, big loads, wide loads, heavy loads, etc, etc. In the United Kingdom, for instance, if you want to run at top weight, which I think is about 44 tons at the moment, gross vehicle weight, if you want to run at top weight, you absolutely have to have 6 axles. So that's 3 on the tractor unit and 3 on the trailer. So if you see trucks out on the roads and they're only running 5 axles, you can rest assured they are not running at the top legal weight for the UK. In Europe you can. I drove for a Dutch company and we were running 50-ton groupage loads down to Italy, and we did that on 5 axles quite legally. But in the UK, transport is strictly controlled, and if you want to run at the top weight, you'll need 3 axles on your unit and 3 axles on the trailer. So a little bit of technical insight there, and obviously all that extra running gear, that's an extra axle, an extra 4 wheels and tyres, plus an extra metre of chassis length. That all costs money. As such, anything with that 3+3 configuration is going to hit you in the wallet. On the flip side of that, you should be able to accept work which a regular 4x2 tractor unit wouldn't be able to afford. So the price premium at the start is hopefully sort of traded off with the different types of work you should be able to play. I'm not sure this game simulates those other different types of work. Well, I guess it does, otherwise they wouldn't have a double drive. And I notice elsewhere they've got another 6x2 tractor unit, but instead of a double drive, it's got a twin steer. So in this instance, the 2 axles steer, and the third one is the final drive axle. With the double drive bogie, they were always for heavier applications, so all those things you see pulling down the road, hauling huge tractors and machines and massively oversized and overweight loads. Some of them would be twin steer, but for the most part manufacturers go for a double drive. So that's the reason for the different axle configurations, and either way, whichever 6x4 you choose, it's going to be more expensive because you're buying an extra axle, more wheels and tyres, etc, etc. So there we are. Unfortunately, nothing in the Majestic stable, especially at the prices they sell at, nothing's really floating my boat. That's a nice truck, but it's not available until level 16. But for the most part, they're underpowered and underspecified as well. So it's not happening for me with Majestic. So let's bail out of here. Thankfully we didn't pay to go and visit there. And let's go to, what have we got down here? Scania's at Milan. I don't think I'm going to have to pay to visit these. Oh, wrong button. Visit selected dealer, yes please. Right, now this, for some reason, this seems to be everybody's favourite truck. They're like the attractive sports car of the trucking world. Everybody wants to drive a Scania. And they're good trucks, they're great trucks in fairness. I first started my international work driving Scanias to Italy, and they were a great truck. Back then we were driving 320s. If you were lucky you had a 360, and if you were the boss's blue-eyed boy you had a 420. The 420 was a V8, had a sound all of its own, but you generally have to work your way up to that. So let's see what we've got available here. Okay, so bog standard, we've got a 360 horsepower standard sleeper cab, left-hand drive, 4x2 configuration. No bells, no whistles, no trims, no nothing. It's right out the box. And the list price is 87,000. So let's see what upgrades are available for that. First and foremost, that paint. It's terrible. Put it on white. Everybody likes white Scanias. And go to the engine options. We have a 360, a 380, a 400 or a 420. Now the 420 is £13,000 upgrade, so straight away if we put that onto the price, see changes, we're up to 88,592. So just shy of £90,000 just with an engine upgrade. So I mean, nice truck and all. Gonna be just a job for what we're looking for. But I have this thing about engine size. I think it's a male thing, you know. But when I drove abroad, I learned one thing, and that was a small engine needs to work harder to transport that freight across Europe, especially if you're going over the hills and excuse me, over the mountains from France into Italy or from Austria into Italy. There are mountainous bits of Germany crossing from Munich into Austria, for instance. You then cross over the Brenner Pass and then transit Austria into Italy, and all those routes are going to be hilly routes. So the truck is going to be up and down the gearbox, up and down the gearbox, up and down the gearbox. And it's just one thing you need to remember when you're operating a truck, and that is every time you change gear it costs you money. Bottom line, every time you change gear on your truck it costs you money. So the best advice is you need to buy a truck with which you're going to need to change gear as little as possible. And from that perspective alone, a bigger engine truck is better on diesel than a smaller engine truck, which is going to have to work that much harder. And for me, nothing is offering me the engine upgrades I'm looking for. Quite like, you place some items on your order. Do you want to cancel? Yes, please. Nothing is offering me the engine upgrades I want. Quite like the Volvo. So out to my friendly Volvo dealership out in Luxembourg with my £100,000 absolutely burning a hole in my pocket, and let's see what the nice man can offer us. Again, it's the same thing. It's I'm not really looking for bells and whistles in the cab department. Being early in the game, I'm just looking for a basic sleeper cab configuration. Actually, this reminds me of I spent a lot of time driving in Europe for various companies, and there was a company I drove for in Belgium, and they were called Travaca, and their philosophy was simple. They had these huge engine trucks. I mean, going back in the day when like I think they were 460s, FH12s, F12s, sorry, it was before the FH mark came out. And they had these F12s with huge, great 460 brake horse engines in them, but just low cab sleepers, just the same as this here. And I mean, their philosophy was plain to see. It was all about keep the wheels rolling for as many hours as possible, days and weeks, and don't worry about sleeping arrangements because we're not planning on doing much sleeping. And that was their company philosophy, and it's a philosophy which I'm bringing with me into Euro Truck Simulator 2. That is, I'm not overly concerned at this stage. I mean, when I'm employing drivers, obviously that might be a bit different, but at this stage all I'm interested in is a truck I can do the job as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And look at this, Volvo are offering me a 700 horsepower engine upgrade. So that means I'm going to be able to yomp across Europe without worrying too much about changing up and changing down because of hills. Only the biggest of big hills are going to slow me down. But also, if I add to that strategy the fact that I tend to look for a lot of as light work as possible, again, for the sake of diesel, for the sake of wear and tear, for the sake of not boring the life out of me when it slows right down to 5 miles an hour. So with light loads and a big engine, hopefully that's going to give you great fuel economy, and as well as making the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, because it'll just go by quicker, smoother, faster, etc. So right here, live on video, I'm going to, now see, I'm not interested in cab upgrades at the moment. I'm going to buy the 700 brake horse upgrade up from the original 540. So that's 160 brake horse higher. And I want to put some lights on. So remember, I'm trying to do all this inside of my £100,000 budget, so I don't want to get too carried away if I can help it. but you just can't have enough forward light, especially on this game. I mean, this game is particularly poor, so let's check that out. And then you go full screen. Look at that, that's a great looking truck. And that's all I'm interested in. I'm just interested in creating a truck to get my transport company up and rolling and on the road and stuff, so we can worry about tarting it up a bit later on. I'll put the beacons on just in case I do get any out of the ordinary loads, and some supplementary lighting so I can see where I'm going. And I've got that huge big engine upgrade, so we're up to 90,000. And to be honest, thinking about putting some of them simple side skirts on, because I just think they look more business-like than the nice shiny ones, plus they're 10 grand cheaper. So I think we're about there, and we've spent £92,000, which I'm really pleased with, because it's going to be a great truck. It's going to pull like a train. Doesn't matter how heavy the load is, I'm going to be able to haul it wherever it needs to go, and hopefully I'm going to get great fuel returns on it. Are there any diesel tank upgrades? Because I want to be able to carry. There we are. There's the price difference there is worth another an extra £12,000 to put just another axle and stuff on. But like I say, my strategy includes trying to cherry pick all the best of the light work. So I think I'm going to stay with left-hand drive, because I'm going to be doing quite a bit of European work. All that's left to settle on is the colour. Blue or silver or aquamarine, or the Night Rider's quite nice, although that'll be a bugger to keep clean. Actually, I'm leaning towards the blue or the silver. Decisions. I used to procrastinate, but now I don't bother. I think we'll go with the silver, shall we? Yes, we shall. Any more for any more? I think we're all done. See changes. There's all my upgrades. So I've got 700. Awesome stuff. Awesome. I don't know whether I ought to upgrade this gearbox as well. I mean, I'm in budget anyway. Let me check it out. See changes. So we're still under the 100,000 budget. Let's go for it, shall we? So we got Sunlight Silver. Look at that. Awesome stuff. Fuel tank 800 plus 600. That's over a ton. 1,000 litres obviously is a ton, because 1 litre equals 1 kilo. So that's over a ton of, almost a ton and a half of diesel on the chassis when fully fueled. That should keep us going for a while, so let's purchase that. Oh man, exciting times. I'm really pleased. There it is. Doesn't look much at the moment. So yeah, anyway, getting back to the title of the video, which is Euro Truck Simulator 2 Strategies. The first strategy I wanted to point out was my strategy on buying a truck. If you want to do it as cheap as possible, I can't recommend the Volvo highly enough, only because you get that fantastic 700 horsepower engine which is going to pull you over any mountain Europe can present before you. So, and like I say, remember, every time your truck changes gear, I hit my mic there, sorry about that. Every time your truck changes gear, that costs you money. So you want to minimise those gear changes, cut down the amount of fuel you're burning, and ultimately save yourself money. So that's it. I've bought my truck, and we'll draw things to a close. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, please thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and keep an eye out for my next strategies video, in which we'll be looking at the different types of work on offer, and obviously the benefits of looking for the lighter loads, especially with a big monster truck like we've just bought. So please do check back, and thanks for joining us on vSoldier.com, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop. 10-4.